My name's Aaron Pampora. I'm a student at Miami University. I'm making this video to talk to you guys about leadership, specifically what I've learned this year. I'm hoping that you guys are able to take away some of these things and be inspired to be a better leader. First of all, I want to give you guys my definition of leadership. Now, by no means am I saying that there's a right or wrong definition of leadership, but this definition definitely gives a solid foundation for what you should think. I would say leadership is creating a shared vision and taking the steps necessary to complete that, specifically by making leaders in the others around you. Leadership is about others. It's more about others than it is yourself. And the world doesn't view leadership in that way. Most of the time when you think of leaders, you think of the people that are up top giving commands to others below them. But leadership really isn't like that. If you try to be a leader like that, you'll probably just end up being disliked by everyone around you. Being a leader is about figuring out what you want to accomplish and believing that you can accomplish it. In the article, The 5 Practices of Exemplary Student Leadership, written by Posner, Kouzes, leaders passionately believe that they can make a difference. They have a desire to make something better than it is today, change the way things are, and create something no one else has ever produced. To be an effective leader, that vision that you're trying to accomplish, you really have to believe in. Go in it 100%. You can't be worried about failure. If you put your faith in the what-ifs, you'll probably run away. Before you do something, really ask yourself, am I actually going to make the investment necessary to make this happen? If not, you're really just wasting your time and energy. The real point of leadership is to be able to serve others, and however you can. Once you create that inspired vision and you can communicate to the other people what that is, your job is pretty much just to be there for them and help them out in whatever way possible. Serving is putting other people above yourself and making sacrifices for them. Whether that sacrifice be time, energy, money, it's really important that we're willing to do that for others. It builds trust and it builds our humbleness. A big part of being humble is serving others. And another part is just knowing yourself. If you know yourself, you don't look for recognition and you're satisfied with where you're at. Keep your own values and don't try to live up to the world's standards. In Liz Wiseman's book, Multipliers, she states, "A true leader is someone people follow because they want to, not because they have to." If you're just in that leadership position and all the people around you are only doing what you say because you're their boss, they're probably not going to do a very good job at whatever they're doing. You should be on the same page as everyone else around you. That means being a good listener. People should be able to be comfortable with coming to you with their problems or opinions. And if they're not, that's not a good work environment. Listening ensures you're on the same page. Popeye CEO Cheryl Batchelder, one of the main caveats of servant leadership in the business industry itself, said that when you listen, you hear people's objections, anxieties, and you also hear the solutions. If you don't listen to the people talk, you won't receive any of the answers you're looking for. And once again, you're just trying to do it by yourself. When you listen to people, you get to hear things you would never think of. That's something I've had to learn a lot this year, as I'm usually one of those people that want to jump out and say my opinion right away, thinking that it's the best. But that's actually a very selfish point of view. And I've started to notice that if I just take the time to let other people think and let other people share, the answers end up being a lot better than mine, and I would have thought of those things. To be a good leader, you really have to build trust for yourself, and one good way of doing that is being somewhat vulnerable to your employees. By that, I just mean admitting when you're really wrong about something. Now, this is something else society gets wrong in my opinion. Leaders in today's age have to have all the answers according to the world. Just look at Donald Trump. When he was running to be president, they wanted the solutions to every problem, such as ISIS. And his answer was, I have a plan. I don't actually think he had a plan. And obviously he was never going to say he didn't have a plan. But in leadership, that's the right route to take. Being vulnerable lets other people see that they can also step up if they have an answer. If everyone's just looking at you and wants you to solve everything, you're going to fail because you don't have all the answers and you can't do it all by yourself. To be a good leader, you really have to care and love the other people that you're called to serve. Every position you get in life, you are called to, so you really have to make the most of it. Seek to put value in other people's lives. Really want to build relationships with the people you're serving. Right relationships create the right environment. If you're there for those people when they need you, they'll be there for you when you need them. And you need them, trust me. To be a good leader, you have to find out what people are good at, and you have to help them excel in that. Put value into others by putting them in positions that they'll be able to do what they love doing. If you're good in one certain area, get people that are good in a different area, so that way you guys can balance each other out and work well together. Please don't hold grudges. If you hold grudges, whether in the workplace, at home, or with friends, it's going to end up hurting that relationship, but it's probably not necessary. Most of the time we hold grudges over simple things that are easily fixed. Whether it be lying, money, anything, you have to think about the big picture. How much does that really matter in the long run, and is it worth sacrificing your relationship with that person over? Move forward and keep striving to do better things. When working towards something, you're definitely going to fail. I myself have failed at many things, and you will too. You can't get hung up by these failures though. Look at each failure as small, and each victory as large, no matter how small. With that mindset, every victory is a large victory, and every failure doesn't mean as much as people think it does. People get hung up over a lot of little moments in life that, in the long run, don't really make that much of a difference. Now, I'm not saying every moment doesn't matter, because it definitely does. But if you get hung up on the past or live in the past, your life is just going to be held back by what you're thinking about. Please, please, please keep your composure. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I had a manager at a food business I worked at, and when things started getting hectic one day, she started literally screaming, and everyone eating there was looking in the back wondering what was happening. In those situations, letting your temper flare and overtake you is the last thing you want to do. You want to make sure you maintain control of the situation. Keep your eyes fixed on the goal and do what you can to move forward. There are situations that you're going to have to respond to right away and take action. But many of the time, it's just something that you can take a step back and just think about for a while and process, and then you'll deliver a lot better of an answer. Making sure you have a clear conscience is a big part of being a good leader. Please don't get this wrong. Anyone can be a good leader. Yes, you can be a good leader. I can be a good leader. Anyone can be a good leader as long as they believe they can be a good leader. Like I was saying earlier, the way we think really determines a lot of our lives. And if you know that you can accomplish something and that you can be that leader, then you will. The reason I say anyone can be a leader is because a big part of leadership is just making an influence on others. And pretty much Anytime you're around other people, you're making an influence on them, whether you think you are or you're not. Even if you don't say anything, no response is still a response. If one of your friends makes a joke you don't stand for, don't laugh. If you laugh, they'll think, oh, I'm getting support, and they'll continue to keep making these bad jokes. If you see litter on the ground when you were walking, pick it up. Maybe someone will see you pick it up and they'll say, wow, that was awesome. I'm gonna go do that now. Have good manners. Say thank you when people do things for you to really show your appreciation for them. Now, I hope this is genuine, but if it's not, you should try to work on that because it means a lot to people. You don't need an apology to forgive someone. Just do it. Just do it! If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that you don't have to be on the pedestal to lead. You lead in everyday actions, things that Drew Dudley calls lollipop moments. This is something we focused on a lot throughout this semester, and they're the things I was just talking about. Simple things that you do every day that people will notice, and it probably affects them more than you think. And something Drew Dudley said in his talk about lollipop moments is we've made leadership about changing the world. And there is no world. There are only 6 billion understandings of it. And if you change one person's understanding of it, if you change one person's understanding of what they're capable of, one person's understanding of how much people care about them, one person's understanding of how powerful an agent of change they can be in this world, we've changed the whole thing. Every moment matters. Don't take any moment for granted, and don't get too hung up about stresses in your life. If you see someone in need, help them. You don't know how much it'll mean to them, and it'll probably help you out also. We become the best people when we serve others, and that is the key to leadership. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and have things to take away from and that you're inspired to be a better leader. Well, once again, my name's Aaron Pompora. If you want to see more videos like this, just comment down and I'll continue to make them. This is my first video. I'm doing it for a school project. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope it wasn't too boring. I don't really know what I'm doing, so hopefully you guys liked it and thought it went well. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, leave them below. Have a good week. Good luck on finals. Thank you.